do is we're going to look at ones that are written in terms of y's instead of x's. So then what you have to do is instead of taking the top minus the bottom, you have to go this direction. Okay? So you have to go right minus left. So our right one is here. Okay? Y over 2 plus 4. Our left one is here. So it's one of these two. Now, what's the difference between those two answers? Where we're integrating from, right? So what we have to do is figure out what the lowest point is and what the highest point is, okay? Because that's where we're integrating from. Well, since this one is the only one that involves negatives, that would be the answer, okay? So the answer would be D, okay? So you would integrate this. Now, you might ask, well, how do I put that on my calculator? The way to do it is change your y's into x's on your calculator because the area is still the area, whether it's coming from the right or it's coming from the top. The area is still the area, okay? So if you change your y's into x's, it'll work out. So for this one, what is the area bounded by the curve where the y-axis is one endpoint, the line y equals -1 is another endpoint, the line y equals 2 is another endpoint, and we're going with this function. Well, if we're following this direction, it's the integral from the lowest point on the y's. What's the lowest point on the y's? -1 to the upper point on the y's, 2 of y cubed plus 8 dy. Okay, this is what you would write. Okay, and then we'd integrate it. Now, can we integrate it just like this? Yeah, that's not too hard. This would be 1/4 y to the 4th plus 8y from 2 to -1. You put in the 2, it's 1/4 2 to the 4th plus 8 times 2 minus 1/4 times -1 to the 4th plus 8 times -1. Well, 2 to the 4th is 16. 1/4 of 16 is 4 plus 16, which is 20, minus 1/4 minus 8 is -7 3/4, or -31/4. So if we go plus a positive, this is 80/4 plus 31/4 is 111/4. Okay. What if we did it on our calculator? Doing it on our calculator, boom, boom. We would just change our y's to x's. Turn on. So it's math 9, is it? Yep. -1 to 2 of x raised to the 3rd power plus 8 dx. And if we enter second, or no, it's math, change into a fraction, please. 111/4. Just what I got. Okay? It's the same thing if we use x's instead of y's on our calculator. Okay? All right. This one. Which one of these would it be? Now, this one's harder than the first one because they already do some simplification. So what are we subtracting from what? Nope, it's a blue minus the orange. It's 7y plus 18 minus 2y squared plus 19y plus 18. If we distribute the negative sign, you get -2y squared. 7 plus a -19 is -12y. 18 minus 18 cancels. So it's 2y squared minus 12y. So it's either A or C. Now we got to figure out which ones work. Would it be A or C? It'd be A because it goes from -6 up to 0. We have a 0 here. Here it says -4.75 to 18. No. Does not make sense. Okay? Then you'll get into ones like this. And this is one where, see what it says? Use a graphing calculator, because it's basically a graphing calculator is required to do this. Okay? So we're trying to find the area of this region and the area of this region. Well, they're going to be two different integrals. The first one's going to be the integral from 0 to whatever. Let's call that point AB. Okay? It's going to be, and now see how these are in terms of x again? Okay? So if we're in terms of x, then we're going top down. So it's going to go from 0 to point A of f of x minus g of x. And then we're going to add on to it the integral from A to 4.5, because that's the x value here. A to 4.5 of the top, g of x minus f of x. Okay? They give us the f function and the g function. Okay? What we need to do is figure out where AB is. Where do they cross? So we grab our graphing calculator and graph them both. So you go y equals under the first one, and then because there's a pi in there, we know we're in radian mode, not degree mode. So make sure you throw it into radian mode here. Second quit. Y equals. So it's going to be the sine of pi square root of x over 2. Parentheses. That's our first equation. Our second equation is parentheses -4 over 21 parentheses times x parentheses x minus 10 thirds. If we go zoom 6, so we square it up, we've got this going on, and it looks pretty much the same. So now what I'm going to do is go with my window, and I'm going to go like -1 to 5, and I'm going to get a lot closer here. I'm going to go like -2 up to 2. That way I can see the graph a whole lot closer. Okay, so we got this going on, and I want to find that point right there. How do I find that point? Second trace, and I got to see where they intersect. So the first curve is this one. I press enter. Second curve, enter, and then enter again. And they cross at 1.3733. And I would get 4 decimal places in there, 1.3733. Now, it says use a graphing calculator and round your answer to 3 decimals. Okay, so I've got this information in here. So what I'm going to do is I can put that into, and there's multiple ways of doing this. Second quit. I can go math 9 and go from 0 to 1.3733 of, and then put both of these in. Now this is under Y1, right? And this is under Y2. Here's my little cheat. Bars y bars, enter, enter, y1, minus bars, y bars, enter, y2, enter. And I'll just grab those equations. I've already graphed them. I've already got them in the calculator. I'll just grab them from there. dx. And then we'll go minus, and then we'll do this again. So then we'll go math 9. So from 1.3733 to 4.5. What? Oh, plus, yes. Good catch. Plus. And now this time, it's my second equation, so I'll go vars, y2, minus bars, y bars, y1, dx. Boom. It'll take a little while. It's thinking. 2.407 is the area. Okay? So, graphing calculator. Here's another one. Put this under y1, put this under y2, and look at what happens between -3 and 4. Clear. Clear. So y1 is 1/2 x raised to the third minus 2x plus 3. And this is x squared plus 7/2 is 3.5 x minus 3. Graph them. Looks like I'm too zoomed in because things are happening. So I'll go zoom 6 and see what that does. Oh yeah, much better. Okay, so I'm still too zoomed in because I want to see what's happening from -3, which is where they cross there, to 4, which is up here somewhere. So I'll change my window slightly. I'll have to change my Y max to like 20. And they cross right up there somewhere. So if I trace to 4, they cross at 27. Okay? So the biggest thing is I need to find where they cross right here. Okay? Now, this curly Q1, this cubic one, is my top graph from -4 until my intersection. So I'm going to intersect from -3 up until whatever A is of y1 minus y2. And then from A to 4 of, then it's, this one is on top. So it's y2 minus y1. It always isn't, it's not always y2 is on top the second time, but this time it is. Second trace, 5. We got to figure out where they intersect. I don't even know where my cursor is right now. There it is. So I want to see, I want to get close to the intersection and push enter, enter, enter. And I'll go where it intersects. And they intersect at 1. So that's a nice number this time. Okay. So then I go second quit. I'm going to go math 9. Go from -3 to 1 of y1 minus y2 vars, y vars, enter y1, minus vars, y vars, enter y2, dx, plus math 9 from 1 to 4 of vars, y2, minus vars, y1, dx, enter, and that one was quicker, 39.042. Okay, so this one would be the same. So this will be some work today. Okay, it'll take a little bit of work for you to get through some of these. So it's 8.5 and 8.6, and then you have a quiz to take. So plenty to do today. Thursday we'll do start in on 8.7 and 8.8, which is the stuff that there's some stuff I struggle with in calculus. That's what I struggle with a little bit.